Welcome to the Q1 2026 Macro Intelligence Briefing, Collision Course. I'm Lauren Habbing from Blue Crown Business Strategies. This session analyzes the intersection of aggressive policy, judicial resistance, and market stability during the first quarter of the year. Let's dive into the core themes. Q1 was defined by executive velocity, fast-paced overhauls in foreign aid and federal payments, colliding with institutional guardrails from SCOTUS and federal courts. Despite these frictions, the S&P 500 remains resilient. The new administration initiated immediate structural disruption. Key actions include a 90-day pause on foreign aid and the implementation of a $100,000 fee for H-1B specialty workers. These moves have placed significant pressure on the higher education sector. Universities are under a four-way squeeze: strict 15% caps on research costs, the loss of DEI funding, massive visa fees, and threats of decertification over student protest reporting. Closing. While the executive pushes forward, the judiciary is pushing back. In Sweet v. McMahon, the court refused the Department of Education's request for more time to process 207,000 loan applications. Missing the April 15 deadline triggers automatic settlement relief. But the most significant judicial check occurred at the Supreme Court. In Learning Resources v. Trump, a 6-3 SCOTUS decision struck down unbounded tariffs on China and North American partners, ruling that the president cannot use emergency powers to effectively tax. The legal mechanism used here was the Major Questions Doctrine. The court halted the tariffs because of their vast macroeconomic impact, affecting $15 trillion in trade. They ruled there was zero historical precedent for using IEEPA in this manner. Legal guardrails are also tightening internationally. The ICC is preparing a binding ruling on former President Duterte regarding the Philippine war on drugs. A decision on whether he stands trial is expected within 60 days. Many ask, doesn't withdrawal from the ICC grant immunity? No. Under Article 127, the ICC retains jurisdiction because the investigation began before the Philippines officially withdrew in 2019. Withdrawal does not equal immunity. Now, let's look at how these legal battles impacted the macroeconomy. The economy is cooling. GDP growth slowed to 0.7%, and unemployment ticked up to 4.4%. Inflation remains sticky at 2.5%, leading the Fed to hold rates steady. Sector performance, however, tells a more polarized story. Energy is the clear winner, surging nearly 38%. Technology struggled early in the quarter due to AI disruption fears, though megacaps like Meta began stabilizing the narrative in April. Geopolitics also played a major role in market swings. We saw a significant March volatility dip due to oil supply disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. However, April saw a 4% recovery on hopes for a US-Iran ceasefire. This brings us to our core diagnostic framework. This matrix shows how legal friction actually preserves stability. By striking down the 145% tariffs, the courts averted a massive inflationary shock, allowing the S&P 500 to maintain its upward trajectory. Let's look at the milestones for the coming months. Watch April 15th for the student loan deadline, May for the ICC's decision on Duterte, and June 9th when new travel bans take full effect for 12 nations. Closing. Finally, a look at our data architecture. Our analysis is built on primary SCOTUS filings, executive orders, and market data from Trading Economics and Community America. Thank you for your attention. This concludes our Q1 briefing.